All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope everybody is having a fantastic weekend. In this video, we're going to discuss Bitcoin, what we're looking for next week. We'll also take a look at the S&P 500. We'll look at gold, and we'll take a look at Bohm. So let's get started. First and foremost, we are taking a look at Bitcoin here. You can see that we did break under here when Elon Musk and Donald Trump started their little feud, their lovers quarrel, if you will. We did have a down day here. And this, in my opinion, was probably more caused because of the VIX than anything else. And I'll show you that here in a second. But first, let's talk about this 21 exponential moving average, as Bitcoin has been playing with it since May the 29th. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days we've been trading at or around or under the 21 exponential moving average. It tells us, A, the bears are not able to get the breakout and sustain the breakdown and keep it going. It does seem to me like the bulls are scooping up this Bitcoin on literally every pullback. Make sure if you're not looking for longs that you are watching that 21 exponential moving average. As far as I'm concerned, just getting closure back above the 50 on the RSI here puts Bitcoin back in the strategy to look for longs at supports. So we are going to be watching June's open moving on here to see if we can get maybe a retest of that tomorrow before we see Bitcoin start to rally away from that 21. Now, obviously, this could all be wrong because the weekly open is right here. So right now, Bitcoin is a doji on the week. You can see we don't have much of an upside wick here, but we have a very long tail down here. But what was important about this swing low is basically we tested the $100,000 region. This breakout candle broke out above, closed above, and the very next week we did not retest it. We set a low right here, a beautiful swing low for liquidations moving forward, and then we just kept making higher lows. We took that out and got a pretty nice bounce here. So next week, if you close above the midpoint of this down close week right here, next week, and then we close like say above 107, that's going to look like a morning star reversal formation, and you have had 1, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of sideways price action here. We could be getting ready to see a pretty sizable rally coming up. So it's going to be important to watch that daily 21 exponential moving average, in my opinion. So going back over here to the daily, that's where we are. Now, one could short the weekly open here today. If we go down into, let's say, the intraday time frame, let's take off the moving average and put this on the 4 hour real quick. You can see that you are making higher lows on the 4 hour time frame, currently retesting right now the 4 hour midpoint above all these swing highs here. There is still a daily swing high there, a daily swing high there. That makes up a nice little double top formation. So I would say this is probably wanting to liquidate those swing highs there. We go look at our Bitcoin levels. You can see there is some liquidations over here. Let's refresh this. But if you look at right here where the red line is over here on the sell side liquidity, there's nothing there. Nothing there. There's very little liquidity to the upside, but once you get above 105.676, there's a ton of liquidity at 105.7 and 105.8. That's going to be that double top over there. If we go to a smaller intraday time frame here, you can see this purple line here is your monthly VWAP. This is the VWAP for the month of June. As of right now, thanks to Friday, we got back above this monthly VWAP, and it has kind of sort of been acting as support. This is Friday's VWAP in white and today's VWAP in white. The only reason I'm keeping Friday's VWAP up is because Friday was the last day of the trading session or the normal volume. Bitcoin can be choppy on the weekend. I mean, the buyers do look like they are defending today's VWAP as well as yesterday's. Price is currently trading above Thursday, Friday's, and today's point of control. It's obviously more bullish than bearish. If we were bearish, then we would be seeing price trading under the point of controls. So we'll see how this plays out moving on. Let's go over here and talk about the VIX real quick, so that way I can get you kind of up to speed as to why we saw that big down day here on Bitcoin. If you look right here, May the 16th was the last time that we tested the yearly opening range on the VIX, and it bounced and traded all the way back up to 25 bucks. Now, resistance up here did hold as you did not close the daily back above that. And then once we broke down here, setting a lower resistance level. Even though we traded above this price for 3 days in a row, every one of those 3 days closed back under 1930, which in my opinion was a huge signal. If the bears were going to be in control, then this thing would be going this way. Instead, it's going down. And then here we are. So honestly, I think this was just another lower high bounce off of a very big, key, crucial level. And that is why we had a big down day on Thursday on Bitcoin. It is also why we had a big down day on the S&P 500 on Thursday. Yearly opening test, and then boom, here we are. This is a fresh 4-month low, by the way, on the VIX, closing out the day at 1678. We look at the volatility of the VIX. You can see it is very low. It is very low. Typically, we are a little bit concerned when we're above the 110 area on the VVIX. Anywhere from like the 110 to the 120 area is generally more bearish than bullish. Basically, it just tells us that there's a lot of hedging going on, a lot of unknown risks in the marketplace. So people will, hedge off their long side portfolios, and that's when we really see the volatility of the VIX increase. But it's just going down. It's trending in the right direction for bullish markets. I'll give you your weekly expected move for next week. Weekly expected move high is going to be 6091. That will not be an all-time high. All-time high is 6147 spot 43. I guess I can go ahead and put a thing up there for you. We'll mark that in green just so we know that's the all-time high up there. We do have a potential high month close resistance level coming in at 6040, but the high week expected range for the options market, 6091. The low edge of the week for the implied volatility, 5909. That is a 91-point move. We know that the S&P 500 can absolutely move 100 points in a day. Will we break or breach the upside or the downside of next week's expected move? It can happen for sure. It can happen, but if you get a pullback down to the yearly opening range, obviously that's where the low edge of the expected move is. Probably is a BTFD moment, a buy the effing dip, if you will. So moving on, everything looks good. Everything looks structured really nice and bullish. We looked at all the ratios last week. I don't think there's any reason to look at them again. Obviously, everything is still structured in the risk on position. The risk is on. If we go look at gold, basically we got a big move to the upside. What happened last weekend was we had a little bit on the warring front, if you will. Ukraine actually flew some drones into Russian territory and destroyed like 40 strategic bombers. I think maybe that's what was causing gold to spike so hard, breaking out to the upside of this channel. But we did a live stream last week, and in that live stream, I had a short side bias on gold. I was basically expecting this entire move to get retraced, and then over a longer period of time, probably like a month or so, I expect gold to get back into this range here, this downtrending range, and probably start to trade a little bit lower as a risk on sentiment stays strong in the markets. And I believe gold will retrace a little bit. I think you're going to see people taking profits from gold and rotating that capital back into risk on assets. Boom, USDT, book of meme. Obviously, this is not something that I want to buy and hold on a long-term scenario. More than likely, it is garbage. Whoever created it, whoever owns the majority of the supply will probably sell it all if they haven't already. So be very careful. No, I am specifically only looking at this because it moves a lot. On these days where Bitcoin is only moving like 1.5 to 3% in a day, Bomeusdt is moving like 5 to 10% in that same day. So there's just a lot more volatility in it. Liquidity is quite thin, so be careful. Remember, when something moves a lot, it can hurt you or reward you. It is a very risky asset to trade. It is trading under the June open. It is also trading under June's VWAP, same as Bitcoin, right? Kind of is showing us a breakdown here. What did we do in June? We had a fresh monthly open, and we had 3 days of upside setting in June's high. Then we went down and took out this swing low that we put in May. It's not May's low. May's low is all the way down here. It is a key swing low, and then since then we've done nothing but go back up. It's either going to roll over here and be a sell for the remainder of June, or it's going to break back out to the upside. Now, as far as day trades are concerned, I kind of don't want to really be bullish because the bears are still in control of the momentum here, and you're nowhere near the 21 exponential down here. But that can change really quick because some of these candles can be really big. But we can have one good day and close well above that 21. The fact that we did test June's open this morning and have not fell off yet tells me that I honestly believe that this is being soaked up. By the time you watch this video, a lot of time could have already passed by and this analysis is no longer good. If I were you, I would just watch June's open. Here is your upside move in May. And then a big retracement. You only closed 2 days under the 786. 1, 2. And if we are going to see downside continuation for the month of June, because we just opened the month of June, we set a monthly high early on in the month, and then we broke down below the open and made a fresh swing low, a fresh multi-week swing low. So this pullback is what we would experience as a correction only. And we would be looking for the overall yearly trend, which is down, and the current month trend, which is June, is also down. So we would ultimately, if we were going to be a trend trader, we would be wanting to look to take downside trades here. Basically, the line in the sand for me, or the area to watch, is going to be this. This is where we have to be cautious looking for those shorts. We traded above Friday's high at 2 o'clock in the morning. And it has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours since we did that. You have not broken down. This is what it looks like when an asset breaks down. This is what it looks like when an asset breaks down. This is not what it looks like for an asset to break down. This is more bullishly structured than bearishly structured on an intraday basis. On an intra-month basis, it is still bearish as long as you're trading under 18,406. As that is the objective monthly open. But if we can trade above that, then for the month of June, you're bullish again. And that could mean that we could see this start to go back to the upside. Now, this does not trade one for one with Bitcoin. If you are going to take trades on Bomeusdt, make sure that you're doing it on Bomeusd's analysis only, not Bitcoin's analysis. So this, in my opinion, with Bitcoin and Bomeusdt is a potential turning point. If the bears are unable to defend their shorts for the month of June, they will be forced to reposition for a potential up closing month and not a down closing month. So it's going to be important. The June level is going to be important for Bitcoin and for Bomeusdt moving forward in the future. I honestly think if it does start to break out, though, you're probably going to see something more like this. So just keep an eye on this. I think we're getting ready to see a potential breakout. If it does reject, then maybe you can be a little bit more defensive. Maybe you can look for a potential trendline retest, even though we clearly got one here and here. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see who wins out right here. Obviously, this is a crucial battle going on between the bears and the bulls. Tell me, what do you think in the comment section? Do you think Bitcoin isn't going to break out to the upside? Do you think the bears are still in control of it? If you want me to look at something for you, follow me on Twitter. Throw out, hey, what's up? Can you take a look at this? Obviously, I will look at it for you. I have no problems with that. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Also, make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.